All right. Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Santa, and I'm here with my great friend, my own personal chiropractor, Dr. Jeff Solomon. Jeff, welcome. Thanks for being with me.
No, I appreciate the opportunity to share it with you right now, Mark.
Well, Dr. Solomon is running for state rep, District 115.
For the Florida House of Representatives.
Florida House of Representatives. He's our Democratic candidate down here. He likes to say Democratic Republican. He's the chiropractic candidate.
That's the number one party here, especially as we talk about chiropractic issues, is that I'm a member of the chiropractic party, and that's something we for certain have in common with each other.
And Jeff, there are certainly a lot of moving parts right now in chiropractic across the country, especially here in Florida. We have a lot of docs are very concerned about their future, the future of reimbursement. Certainly some of the issues that come up to the top of my mind are personal injury. And can you tell us, I know you've spoken to thousands of chiropractors, what are they thinking about right now? What are their concerns?
Well, and so on that, I've probably made over 3,000 phone calls to chiropractors licensed in the state of Florida that range from rookies recently out of school to retired docs who I have their contacts, they're still answering their number. And across the board, they have shared their concern, probably greatest on the reimbursement and the kinds of issues they're having with these claims adjusters such as ASH.
Right.
And it's truly been poison to the industry, so much so that you have doctors who are just deciding not to be on anybody's panel and not to take insurance anymore because of the labor it takes to get paid and the minimal dollars that they do.
Right.
And then they're just really ticked off about the fact that these are benefits that the individual that comes to them has a right to in their benefit plan.
Yes.
And it's paid for, and they're not being allowed to utilize.
They're told they've got unlimited chiropractic coverage,
right.
And if they get 6 visits, that's a big deal, and
so,
at a very reduced rate.
So amongst the literal now, while I've reached out to over 3,000, I've actually had conversations, real conversations, with probably 1,000 to 1,500, and that's probably one of the most common concerns across the board. Yes, there's concern about the PI, BI, and which way we're going, and the profession believes that they're better off on the whole, not everybody, but for the most part, especially the younger doctors that don't need to be the bank to the lawyer. They believe hanging on to PI as long as possible is an important thing. And so we will, I'm sure, at least for a little while longer, if we have a chiropractor at the table in the house, that would help.
We've got a voice at the table, exactly.
Well, you're either at the table eating or you're on the menu. And we've been on the menu lately, and it's time to get us off.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for that. I know that there are a lot of issues that are impacting the folks here locally that are big life issues. We've just lived through a terrible, terrible tragedy in Parkland, and gun control is on everyone's mind. What are your stance? What are your thoughts about?
Well, I'll share with you my thoughts, which are the common sense thought of a majority of people at the doors I've been knocking at. So while I've been calling chiropractors and trying to get contributions to support this campaign, I've also been knocking at the doors of the people in my community and talking to them about what their primary issues were. And the gun control issue is number one. And it's not that anyone wants to get rid of the Second Amendment. They, for the most part, support it. I support it. It's the kinds of weapons and how we get those weapons and in whose hands those weapons can be in, and that, certain things need to be changed in regulation to create a safer environment where somebody doesn't have to worry about walking down the street and getting hit by a stray bullet, even in the nicest of neighborhoods.
Right.
Big concern. Yeah. So I support those gun controls and safety measures taken, including as well investing, as we talk maybe about healthcare, in mental health support and investment, because that can be a deterrent in a significant way, along with appropriate law enforcement and investment in law enforcement, to stop these kind of things or reduce at the very least these kinds of things.
Well, Jeff, let me ask you, right now, we seem to be in such a partisan atmosphere
Terrible.
that one person won't reach across the aisle to the other. How do you see yourself working with the other colleagues who may not be in your party as we move ahead?
Well, that's something that my chiropractic colleagues have kind of helped train me in, being a collaborator amongst many, as a leader of our FCA, past president some years ago, and as a past president of our ACA Sports Council, a national organization. I learned a lot about working with people of different opinions and helping them learn to collaborate and get good things done.
Yes.
So my colleagues, thank you, have been good at that. And that's really what a big concern out there is that people are sick of wingnut politics, this hyper-partisan stuff. They're leaving the parties in vast numbers, and a third of the population presently has no party affiliation, while that continues to grow because of the distaste of what's happening.
Yeah. Facing government shutdown and
It's insanity. It's not normal.
logjam, nothing getting done, it seems, and
It doesn't
people want
stop there.
action.
They want action. And so actually, I have a position that I've put out there, I think that defines me amongst the candidates on both sides, Republican and Democrat, that I'm supportive of open primaries. It's those people in the middle that are sick of the hyperpartisan politics,
Right.
that unfortunately are disenfranchised from the ability to vote because they are not in a party and they can't vote in primaries. They can't help to make a decision on who is going to ultimately get to that general or main election where everybody then gets to participate. I don't think it's fair. They don't think it's fair. And at the doors, they're very pro having that opportunity, since their taxpayer dollars pay for every election.
Right.
And yet,
They
So-
need to have their voice heard.
and so I think we're possibly going to create legislation to move things in that direction if I hopefully get the opportunity to serve here. And I intend to at this point.
Well,
I can tell you, we're doing good.
I know we're ready. What's it going to take to win this thing, Jeff?
It's going to take a combination of dollars to invest into the cost of reaching out to the people that we're going to reach out to in the district. And reaching out means knocking on doors. It means making phone calls and phone banking. It means getting certain media through the mail, and better through IP targeting, some new technologies we're using
Right.
to know who we're reaching out to and better message them very specifically, getting them engaged ultimately about voting, getting them to vote,
Yes,
registering new young voters who are very active.
very much.
And there are a lot of people who want to volunteer, and I would hope my chiropractors out there who may want to put some time and some phone banking. It may be difficult to come knock on doors with me. Certainly, contributions are tremendously appreciated. As I've been reaching out, there have been a lot of very, very kind people who have given me maximum contributions of $1,000 per their individual and per their corporation. And then there's been some who are retired and on fixed income chiropractors who send me a very nice, small, but appreciated check that goes into the mix and makes the difference.
Well, I'm going to appeal to chiropractors, not only here locally in Florida. This is something that we need to do for somebody who's stepping up for us, puts chiropractic first. This is not something that you hear very often from a candidate. And my request would be to give the maximum, give as much as you can, but at least, how about the value of a chiropractic adjustment?
I would make a difference.
If each chiropractor just took one adjustment today and sent that into the website, and I'm going to give you the information of where you can go to do that, that could be a tipping point here. I want you to think about it. The one adjustment that I'm giving today can make a difference for how chiropractic is represented. And what happens in a big state like Florida impacts, by the way, what happens in the rest of the country. I like to say what happens in Florida is going to happen in a state near you.
That's the truth.
And so Jeff has been on the front lines of insurance reform here in Florida for a lot of years. He's been a leader of our profession. He's been a wonderful provider of healthcare to our Olympic athletes. And this is a guy who's not in it for the short game. He's in it because he loves it and he cares about it. and I want him to win. I know he wants to win. So tell folks where they can go to make that contribution.
Well, I have a website. It's www. Of course, DocSolomonForHouse.com. DocSolomonForHouse.com. And you can go to a button to volunteer if you want to help us make some phone calls, and my field director will reach out and help facilitate that. And of course, a financial contribution you can do through PayPal or any credit card online, and it's tremendously appreciated. It makes a difference.
Well, Jeff Solomon, I know you're going to win this time. It's been an
We're gonna
honor
get
to
this.
know you. It's been an honor to have you as my chiropractor, and I'm looking forward to having you as our representative as well. So
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Jeff. Please make a contribution today, register to vote, and know that you've got somebody here in Dr. Solomon who's got your interests at their best heart.